Oi, how to stop asking too many questions. Find somebody with a subject who's knowledgeable more than you with a subject that interests you, on a subject that interests you the most, and then you sit with your hands on your ass and listen. If you haven't found somebody who's more knowledgeable on a topic with the years and years, a veteran of something, then you will always ask questions because if somebody explains something to you, as Einstein said, and they can't explain it as easy as they would explain it to a child, you'll find yourself asking questions just to clarify that that issue or whatever the issue is that may arise when you're learning. But when someone is very, very knowledgeable, their explanation of the matter leaves no rooms for questionings. Maybe a few questionings here and there, maybe a few questions here and there, but you will never ever stop asking questions. And I would even argue the opposite, that if you know somebody who's knowledgeable, you want to even ask more questions. After you've listened, you want to know more and more and more and more and more. It got to a point where I once met a rich South African guy, and I said, "Bro, how did you become rich, a millionaire? How? How?" And he kept saying, "You'll figure it out, Peter, you'll figure it out." I said, "How am I going to figure it out?" I didn't care about the girls that were there. I didn't care about anything that we were doing. There was so much fun going on, no, but I wanted to understand how. But the more questions I asked, the more it led to my confusion. From that point on forward, it was only like today, literally today, that I realized what he meant by "you'll figure it out." When you figure something out yourself, there's no room for questioning, no more room for one more word, because you just know what you want to do next. And there's this knowing, unmovable, unshakable sort of knowing. If you don't have that yet, you'll always ask people questions because you're uncertain. So you want them to sort of confirm, fortify whatever worries you had by reassuring you with more answers. That's why you always ask how, why, because you want to know and you really want to know. And the more people put, the more shit they put in you, the more confused you are, and the more questions you ask. But if you really, really figured it out by yourself, and don't kid yourself here, because you're not ever going to stop asking questions until you actually realize you know. You know more than you let on. You know more than me, even. The only difference is I have the confidence to come on here and embarrass myself by saying things. But I don't consider it embarrassment because I sort of know what I'm saying. But at the same time, I don't know. You see? But it's the certainty. Once you get that certainty, you know where you're going, you know what you're doing, you just know. Then the questions come to an end. Because there's nothing else that you have no questions to ask. I have no questions to ask sometimes. Most of the times I have nothing to ask.